What's up? My name is Daniel, and welcome to my garage. Let's check this bike out right here. It's the legendary Apollonia. Check it out. So, let me give you guys some of the inspiration behind this bike. First of all, this is a shorty right here. Not your standard height, okay? And the theme of this bike is interesting. I always say it like this, that if you take a little sporty and you add it with a little bit of luxury, it's going to equal sexy. And that's pretty much the theme of what's going on with this bike right here. Let's check it out. First of all, let's just talk about that theme. The cover right here that I had made is in a gloss black, which represents a patent leather shoe. Check it out. So you got a patent leather shoe theme. Then when you look at the side wrap right here, the side wrap has like a velvet look, almost like a blazer. You get what I'm saying? Like the inside of a jacket or a blazer right there. And then the logo. Funny story. A lot of people think I'm just a big fan of Ferrari, and it's not really true. A little bit of the history is initially I wanted a logo that said sporty, that said sexy. And initially I thought the perfect logo for that was Ducati. Well, I sent out for that, never got it, never came in the mail. And so I said, hey, let me try this Ferrari logo. And so ultimately, the main reason why I have the Ferrari logo is it communicates the same thing that I initially said I wanted to communicate, right? Luxury, everybody knows Ferraris cost a lot. Sporty, everybody knows Ferraris are fast, equals sexy. James Bond. James Bond's a guy who wore a suit, but he's a guy who's fit as well. He's a guy who moves fast. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So when people look at this bike, I want people to think, yo, this bike is sexy when they see it. Now, let me describe a little bit of the different components of this bike. The seat right here, I got in thick diamond stitching because I felt like it looked a little bit more luxurious. Come on, then. The thin diamonds. Usually people get thin diamonds. I wanted it thick. Like when you sit in one of those chairs where you smoke a cigar. You get what I'm saying? The luxury thing again. We did that right there. Again, Tapia Seats made that. This is a Cafe Racer style seat that I had them customize the stitching on. When we begin to go further on the bike, you'll notice that it looks real Panther-like, real stretched out and sexy. I got a swing arm. The swing arm, I think it pulls my bike out, the wheel out about maybe 3 inches, makes it look real sexy. Right here on our rear shocks, we have the Omegas. Instead of the 300s, which usually go good on the shorty version, I got the 320s because the 320s allow the back of the bike to lift a little more. Plus, you need that when you stretch your wheel out that far. Makes the bike more balanced, all right? On the wheels right here, we'll deal with the coverings first. The wheel covers, right? That's Raid Dynamics wheel covers. As far as the tires, these are Michelin Pilot 2 street tires for motorcycles. I staggered them so in the front I have a thinner tire than I do in the back, which is, again, is making it look real sexy. Now, here's another little thing I did with my bike that people seem to like. It really pops out. I always like the look of the nuts on a rim or on a race car. Always look dope to me. Always look sexy to me, right? Again, a race car, sporty. You get it? For safety reasons and for a look, I have these reflectors that I put on that go around the rim of the bike in order to give it the look of nuts and also give it the look, no Diddy either. When I said nuts, no Diddy. All right. So anyway, to give it the look of the lugs on the rim, but it also gives it a real sexy glow. And the white against the black really makes it pop. And at nighttime, they actually glow when light hits it. So that gave it a sexy look to it. Let's continue. What else? Let's talk about the fairing. This fairing also, you notice, has a glossy black kind of look, which matches my battery cover. Again, giving us that patent leather shoe look. This is a Leoncino, actually a Benelli Leoncino fairing for the Benelli Leoncino bike. It's an Italian motorbike. That's what kind of fairing that is. These are Braveway on the front of the bike. I have fog lights right here. These Braveway fog lights. I use them as my main lights in order to navigate the darkness because as you guys can see, I dropped this fairing down to make it look a lot more sexy. And in the dropping of the fairing, the light is pretty much covered except for when it goes down. So when I ride it at night, I'd have no lighting. So I got these Braveways and they, they go, I think, yellow, soft white, warm white, or whatever. Of course, I had to get the wedge pack, which is standard now. Everybody knows the wedge pack. You got to get the wedge pack, okay? On my pedals, I had to get the pedals. You know what I'm saying? Take the D off and put a G on. Get the pedals. Get what I'm saying? And with the pedals, you already know we can transform. We got the transformer action going right now. Transformers. More than me CI. This is good for 5.0, even though we know the bike laws have changed now in Cali. It's not going to do us that much, but, right? So, those convert from pedals to pegs. All right? What else? Rear brakes. I got the Maguras MT5s. Okay, so you got your motorcycle brakes in the back. We got the pegs, of course, on the back in case somebody, wants to ride with me. Let's talk about the innards, okay? Let's talk about the inner workings, all right? Now, initially, my bike was sexy, but inwardly weak. Now, it's sexy and inwardly strong. So what did I have to do? I had to get inside and make it sexy, too. So what we did was we got rid of the Kelly controller. We got the Far Driver 72680 controller to give myself a little more power. And then inside we have, listen to this, wait, the P45B Molicel. Don't mess with me, right? So once you combine the Far Driver and the P45B Molicel battery, it equals sexy. You get what I'm saying? It's going to equal sexy. We're going to have speed right there. Now, top speed I've gotten on this bike, well, of course, you guys who know something about bikes know that depends on how you turn the amps up on the Far Driver. Now, when the Far Driver is up to 300 amps, I've seen and know that this can do over 80 with what I have. But I've been running it at 200 amps, which means that the fastest I've probably gotten, at least before I hit the brakes, was 71. All right? I think that's pretty much it as it relates to describing, the bike. Again, we've got the look of a black tuxedo, but also it's got that sexy appeal. Beyond that, this is a little bit why I ride, okay? I ride for a number of reasons. For relaxation, I ride because I like the freedom of riding. And this is when I was just riding by myself. But now, since I've become a part of the Honest community, I ride for the camaraderie, to get my Red Dead Redemption on. You get what I'm saying? To get along with the other guys on their horses and get out on the road together. You get what I'm saying? That's why I do what I do. We get together and we ride as free men. As free men. And plus I love, we get together, we hang out, we laugh, share stories, we break bread. This is why I love being a part of the Honest community. And this is why I love to ride. Quick little story about how I got into Onyx. This is a funny story. 2023, September 23rd. If you wanted to give me birthday gifts, you just got the birthday, okay? 2023, September 23rd, had some money. Wanted to get myself a gift. What should I get, right? Wanted to do something different. All started when I walked into a Best Buy. I'm looking at these electric bikes. I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, I should do something different. This looks cool. The electric bikes I was looking at probably only got to 18 miles an hour, 20 miles per hour, something like that. Well, to make a long story short, I realized that those bikes were weak. So what I did was I went to Amazon and got what I thought to be a powerful bike, but it was weak too. An Ingwe M20 is what I got. Some of you guys don't even know what that is, right? I got it. Top speed, 28 miles per hour downhill. Downhill, 28 miles per hour. So what ended up happening was I had that. That was September. Come October 5th, I upgraded. I got the AKS King Kong. Top speed on that, 35 miles per hour. Come November. Probably had it for what? That was October. Come November, I'd upgraded. A month later, I got what they call Frigo F3 Pro. Frigo F3 Pro is what I ended up getting. All-wheel drive. That got me to about 38 miles per hour. Only moved up 3. But the meanwhile, while I'm upgrading these bikes, I'm looking at the Onyx online. I'm looking at Holy Mods. I'm looking at these guys with their cool bikes, right? Actually, Chris, one of my inspirations, you know what I mean? Chris on camera. Don't mess with me. The guy's on camera right now and I'm here. I made it. You get what I'm saying? I made it. I got the guy I was looking up to. He's filming me right now. Do you get what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm looking at Chris. He got his Back to Future bike. I'm like, oh, that's fresh, right? I'm looking at all these different bikes coming in. What I loved about the Onyx was the creativity. Everybody, it was their own vision. It was their own style. Well, make a long story short, I was like, man, I got to get an Onyx. But who had Onyx money? Especially as hard as it was at that time. Well, after a couple finagling, selling some stuff, I ended up getting about $3,000 and I was able to buy this shorty from a guy in Valencia. I was able to get this shorty, and from then on, that was it, man. First time I got on the bike, my mind was blown, yo. I had never gone that fast before. I was like, yo, I couldn't believe going 50 on a e-bike blew my mind. So pretty much I went from the Frigo to now what we have here. You know, some of my inspirations have been, one of the bikes that inspired me the most was this bike by this guy named Gambles. Yo, bike was crazy, yo. I was like, yo, this bike is incredible. But there have been a lot of different bikes that inspired me. There was this guy named Grant Chong. He's part of the group. I don't know if he's a part of the group no more. His bike inspired me. Lots of different bikes have inspired me. And so that's pretty much, man, all I have to say, man. I think that's about it. Glad to be a part of the community, man, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Oh, before I go, what's next, yo? What's next? What's next? This is what's next. QS273 V4 motor is next. That's the thing I'm focusing on right now to get my torque up to an insane level. I want to feel like I'm on the Superman at Magic Mountain when I hit the throttle. You get what I'm saying? That's what's next, all right? What else is next? Handlebars. I want to take these and I want to drop them. I want to make it a little bit more sexy, change the throttle, change the grips. And that's pretty much what we're looking at right now. Now, one of the dangers of having an Onyx is you want to do so much to it, you can overdo it. So I'm holding myself back and I'm hoping that somebody gives me another Onyx so I can put my other ideas on. Get what I'm saying? Hey, Tim, hit me up. Anyway, yo, so I'm thinking about also like doing like some slight lighting under here that's yellow for nighttime so that it lights up yellow under the bike. But that's pretty much it. I think once I change that motor, I might have to upgrade my brakes a little bit. Pretty much that's where we are right now. And that's the vision for the future, man. So check it out. Also, you want to see more cool photos, not of the kid, but of Apollonia. Yo, follow me. I am McClendon. Instagram. I am McClendon. And you can get more sexy shots of Apollonia. Nice hanging out with y'all.